All right. Welcome, YouTubers, fellow preppers, and survivalists. Just doing a random live. I'm going to do some talking about fishing. In a survival situation, one of the best ways to catch fish is with a trout line. You can buy them at Walmart. You can make them yourself. They're very easy to make. I should have had the stuff to demonstrate. You just get you a bank line. Then you tie a line to it with a hook on it. You just keep doing that. And you run it long where you got 100 hooks. And you will catch a lot of fish that way. If there's any fish in there and you run a trout line in there and let it be in there for a half a day, that's the good way of catching them. Now, another way of catching them is with a cast net. Now, because I do rod and reel fish, and I could rod and reel fish for survival. Hell, I could even hand line fish for survival. I could do that. And small hooks catch small fish, and small hooks also catch big fish. So, in a survival situation, you're liable to catch a lot of small fish, but they'll add up. Dog some water. But those small fish, they'll add up. But if you're using too big of a hook like most people do, you're lucky to catch the big one. If you got a small hook, you're going to catch them all. So trout line is a good way to go. The second good way to go is with a cast net. You just got to be careful not to throw that net over something that's going to tear it to pieces. That is the one problem with a cast net. As a matter of fact, I used to make cast nets when I was a kid for my neighbor across the street. He made them and sold them. He just recently passed away. That sucks because I would go over there and have him just give me a, reminder. I guess I'll just YouTube it. That's probably the best thing to do is YouTube how to make a cast net. But a trout line's easy to make too. So, but as long as you don't get hung up with that cast net, you'll catch a lot of fish with it. So if they're not biting, it doesn't matter. When I was on the Angry Prepper, I said they'll bite that net. That's just a redneck way of saying they might not be biting nothing else, but you're going to get them in that net. Yeah, you're right, Robert. You're right. You're going to get them in that net. But, sometimes when you got to do some ninja fishing, you're going to creep in where the fish are, but you ain't supposed to be. You just carry a little small rod and reel, get in there and slam them, or a hand line. But for survival, I would put a trout line out. And then I would cast net. And I'd run me a few rod and reels. There's a few spots where I was guaranteed pretty much I know I'd catch something with rod and reels. And that's freshwater. Salt water, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a video of that as I'm going to run it. I've never ran a trout line in the salt water. I don't even know if it's legal, but I'm going to do it. But not a gill net, it's a trout line, because they don't make gill nets illegal because they're so effective. So in a survival situation, if you can get your hands on a gill net, you'll catch them. If you learn how to make a cast net, you will be able to make a gill net. So I just need to brush up. I think that's what I'm going to do, because all the cast nets that I keep looking at, even with the Bass Pro Shop, and They're made in China, and they're just hell yeah. You can get her, sling it out there, Robert. That's the way it helps. That's why rod and reel instead of just a pole and line. You can get that bait way out there with that rod. That's the point, you know. But that's you burn a lot of calories, you know, when you're hand fishing. If you're not slamming them, you're burning a lot of calories. With a trout line, just you'll know when there's something on there, and you'll see it moving around. It's like a snare. A trout line is like a snare. I run that trout line, run some snares around that water because there's going to be animals coming to that water to drink. So while you run a trout line and walk around, look for animal trails going to the water, set snares. And while you're doing that, look for wild edibles. I mean, you can survive if you just think that way. It's just a mindset. You know, like no matter what happens, I'm going to make it through this, and stay calm, and you'll make it through. Just keep your head on your shoulders. Yes, you're right, Robert Miller. A canoe and a trout line is the best. You're damn right. That's the way to go. I mean, you're gonna catch them, not like that. That's the way to go. Damn shit. And me, I'm not a ninja, but I'm one of the few people that I can throw a cast net out of a canoe. I can do that. Not many people can do it without falling over, but I can do it. And the canoe is king here down there on these rivers, man. The canoe is the king. And there's places you can chunk that cast net where they just won't bite, and fill it up real quick. And down here we got these fish called, we call them Nile perch. The fancy name for them is tilapia. But down here where I'm at, it's like the wild hogs. We are infested with them. I even got a secret spot where I get the best. They actually feed them the best in the world. You damn right, Robert. Run that trout line across a stream or a cove. Yep. You can run it out into a lake too. You can run it out into a lake. I've caught a lot of fish on trout line. So that's a good way to go, especially in a survival situation. Then, like I said, run snares around it if you want to catch mammals. You know, if you like want some red meat instead of just fish. And I'd also walk around with a pellet gun. I'd run that trout line, set me some snares, just kind of nice and easy. As I was foraging, had that pellet gun ready to get a bird or squirrel or rabbit or armadillo, possum, coon, anything. I'll eat anything. I mean, really. I'm that guy. I'll eat anything. When I get hungry, I'll eat it. You know, finicky eaters, I'm like, I'll eat it. So, yeah, I'll eat anything. That's another reason why I would survive. Just watch my video called The Year 2025. That's just a little short movie I made that it's a prediction. I hope I'm wrong. But if this keeps going this way, it's going to be kind of close to that. If something majorly don't come along and change things. If something doesn't majorly come on and change things, it's going to be just like the video on that I made. So on my videos, the year 2025, that's how it's going to be. And I'm telling you, I watch Apocalypse Now and Colonel Kurtz, his methods. To me, they're sound. A lot of people watch that and